Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to another Choozo Randomizer race. I am KJ. I am joined here by Count Cranberry as a commentator on here. I know it doesn't say it on the screen, but there's two of us here. How you doing, Count?
I'm doing well, and I am excited to watch this race. We got a couple of really talented runners here, so gonna be a good one. I feel like.
Absolutely. And we've got Scoopula versus, I'm going to butcher this, but Ddraig? Is that what it was?
Mr. Ddraig or Ddraig. I think both are technically correct depending on where you're at, but we will be doing our best with that pronunciation as the match goes on.
Yes. Okay, you want to go over today's settings?
Absolutely. So we've got full countdown today, so all the major items are shuffled amongst themselves, but we'll have a little counter in the top left that'll tell us how many of each major there are of the 16. We've got vanilla area, as you can see, we've got a not deep start, and then we've got a random morph, so we might have a little bit of troll going on, we might not, we'll see. And right away, Scoopula finds morph ball. Whereas Mr. Ddraig decided to go up instead.
Not like this. Oh man, how far can he go before he might? Oh man, and speed.
It's entirely possible that with random start, you know, the doorway into high jump boots is a regular door, not a missile door. So you know, Mr. Ddraig might be thinking that it's still a missile door and might have gone up instead of down.
Oh, that is unfortunate. He can hold on. So we plan this out. He can go all the way to morph ball location and end up having to reset the game itself if he saves at the ship.
Yep, that is exactly right. Oof, that's gonna put him on his back foot for this race.
Most certainly will. Okay, so we still got one more major here in Upper Norfair. You got two majors in Red Wren, so that's interesting. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, with only, what, 5 checks? 40% of Red Wren Star is majors.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then, yeah, vanilla area, vanilla boss, vanilla escape, hard difficulty. Well, let's see how this plays out. So Mr. Ddraig is definitely in a spot now to where he will have to reset the game. There's no going back at this point.
Yep, past that power bomb door.
Scoopula is going to be going through checking these other areas in Red Wren. Heck, might even go to Green Brinstar with the loadout. Chances are he'll find the majors that are in this area, though.
I mean, Brinstar would be a little bit of a risk. With vanilla area, I believe that gate is there, and with only 5 missiles, you know, you only have 5 chances to get that gate glitch, and then you're stuck because the super missile door will close behind you.
That is right. I am used to. A lot of people have been doing the randomized area, and yeah, that gate is gone during that preset.
I do the exact same thing. I always forget that you don't have that little loop in East Meridian, the sand pits. And so when I play vanilla, I always have to remind myself, okay, this doesn't loop back to Aqueduct.
Can't go down this way. I could, but it's not going to take me where I want to go.
Exactly. We'll see if Scoopula decides to go Green Bryn. Takes a second to think.
This is our difficulty, so that gate might... I mean, you have... Right? You can farm for missiles, so it's not like you're soft locked here. You just have to go back and farm every single time.
Yes, true. Not a speedy procedure, but, you know, depending on how many tries this takes.
Did you see that? Criteria has 0 items.
So that right there should be a sign to Mr. Ddraig that this is the wrong path.
You gotta reset.
Power bombs get him back down Red Tower, and maybe there's missiles over in the ceiling to open up that door that he thinks is red.
That door is gonna be red.
with random morph start, you know, oh, I guess that door's red. That's right,
Yep.
because this is a vanilla map and random start.
Yeah, he's confused. He's confused now.
Meanwhile, Scoopula managing to get that gate glitch and is now into Green Brinstar proper. But notice Green Brinstar only has one major item.
So this major at Green Bryn could either be access to wrecked ship, or it could be Varia to rest of Upper Norfair, because there's still one more major in Upper Norfair. So I don't know. I'm thinking this is going to be a gravity, and I see there's a prediction right here for which suit's going to be picked first. I'm going to say it's gravity, and I'm going to say it's not seen it yet, but West Meridia is going to be where we're going to find our items.
The bold prediction. But Mr. Ddraig finding that morph ball, so now on the right path.
Yep, with about a 5-minute lead, or Scoopula with a 5-minute lead. Now, is Scoopula going to have enough energy to make this? I mean, he's going down here, so I assume he does. But
it takes something like, I want to say 80 energy or so. So, I mean, if he's at full, I think he can just make it, but...
Just barely, okay.
I know that if you fall short, though, you basically end your spark inside an enemy and you will take fatal damage, so... Just enough.
Just gets it. Oh, with a reserve tank. I mean, it's trash tank, so take it as you will, but this early on, I actually favor the reserve tanks.
So Mr. Ddraig opting to take that speed booster and check this item at Bubble Mountain. Of course, he won't be able to access it because he doesn't have any power bombs anymore after that reset.
Mm-hmm.
Really, the only play he could do, he could technically go down to Croc, but definitely does not have enough ammo. Well, I guess he doesn't have supers, so that's not an option either.
Yep. I forgot about Croc. Croc might have progression, depending on what's found everywhere else. Heck, Spospo can have progression at this point.
Yep, still looking for those super missiles.
Yeah, Scoopula shouldn't go in that room. Don't have supers.
Yep,
okay.
None of these rooms at the moment are accessible, as you need supers to do the wave gate glitch and to unlock the other doors and shot blocks.
You also, you need supers to check Mission Impossible, so Spospo is the only spot that you can go right now over in Pink Bren. It's only one major left. I would, he is. He might go ahead and check, or maybe building up energy. I don't know. I think I would skip Spore Spawn at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, you can get over to the other side of Green Brinstar with those power bombs and make all the checks as they're just red doors. So I mean, it's a bold play. It's definitely in logic, but if Scoopula decides to do it, that could be interesting.
Okay, nope. We're gonna go to Green Bren.
But one interesting note, though, Ddraig knows that there's no items in Criteria, so, you know, whereas Scoopula doesn't. So Scoopula at least is going to be taking the elevator up to Criteria, whereas Mr. Ddraig may not. He may opt to go back down to Red Tower and try and find the major there.
Interesting. Yeah, that's true. Also, Ddraig can go up here. Or, sorry, Ddraig can go up here. And I can't remember. He didn't see everything here, but we still haven't found any of the majors in this area. So now he can check those other spots that he wasn't able to see before.
And there's our super missiles. They're having a little bit of trouble with Red Tower, but then nails it.
There we go. Ooh, Scoopula finding Charge Beam.
May have only had one item, but Green Bryn pays off. So we're probably going to see our runners continue to pick up ammo at least for a little bit until they find another beam. Try and find that comfortable, middle ground of ammo hunt versus relying on your charge beam for Mother Brain.
Absolutely. Pea shooter with charge beam is still nowhere near as fast as super missiles.
What, a 300 shot fight?
Something
doesn't seem like a fun time.
Something not even worth it. Okay, Thrag getting up all the way to the ship at Criteria. Probably gonna make a save, and then I'm not really sure where he goes from here other than... Nope, not gonna save. Other than just go right back down to Brinstar. But I think there was a power bomb. Yeah, that's right. The power bombs were found. Was it Morph Ball locations where the power bombs were? I think that's right.
Yeah, there was a set of power bombs there. So I don't mind this play from Scoopula going down instead of going up, even though all the majors are accounted for. This early in the game, you want to have that comfortable ammo, and especially because you're missing any energy tanks, you want a little bit more before you head into wrecked ship for sure. 0+1 is not a comfortable spot for Phantoon with no suits.
No.
Scoopula, careful.
Yeah. Those hoppers can take a lot of energy. Oh! And there's the reserve tank. Okay. Reserve tank for the win. Ash tank ended up actually working out.
Didn't find super missiles for a little while, and now we're finding nothing but. So we'll see here if Scoopula decides to go up to Criteria. I can't imagine not, but...
Yeah... No, he doesn't.
He did open up the red door, so...
Go back to Red Brinstar?
Now, I mean, am I crazy? Did Scoopula see Criteria at some point and know there's no majors there?
No.
Oh, he's going back to check Big Pink.
But there are 2 majors in Brinstar. And now Scoopula has the ability to check all of that.
Well, except probably X-ray. I mean, you can do a suitless X-ray, but that is a very tough trick.
Can you do that with 1 E-tank and with 1 tank and 1 reserve?
It is possible. It is not easy, but it is possible.
Interesting.
Sasha Boss in chat pointing out that Ddraig is gonna miss charge beam. Without power bombs, couldn't get that item behind the Choozo statue.
You're right. Oh man, I didn't even realize that. That's horrible.
And it's pretty unlikely that. Well, Ddraig might go back, just given that there's so many items missing and there's not any obvious progression. Might recognize that that's a potential spot for, a suit or something else. And I guess the Edikins checks as well. So there's a good chance he goes back.
Yeah. So there is a good check, or a good chance for that. But goodness, he's going to have to go through a lot before he goes back to check that. And realizes he doesn't have enough energy to do Waterway.
Yep, that was the location of that life-saving reserve tank for Scoopula. But gonna need to do a little bit of farming before you can check that.
And Scoopula now looking to see if he can, gets the super missile hit, and he's going to go check Spore Spawn's super missile. But yeah, I think it was also Sasha that said in chat. I'm not really sure why Scoopula is now doing all of these minor checks right now. You're gonna have plenty of time to check other locations as we go through all this.
Yeah, with criteria available and having not seen whether there's any majors there, I mean, I understand wanting more energy and the fact that you're never going to come back to Green Brinstar after this, but at the same time, they are slow, you know. All right, Ddraig has gotten caught up and farmed up on energy, so going to be getting that reserve tank in just a moment.
Scoopula might be gonna go up here. Yeah, reverse meme round. Is that what this is called?
Yep, going to be heading in. So one thing that Scoopula needs to be careful about is the side hoppers that are in here. They'll be doing 80 damage a hit. So he's got ammo to take care of them, but just can't take more than 2, I think.
And there was one. Oh!
Oh, that was very close.
Okay, wow. And then Ddraig is skipping the reserve tank. That's interesting. I mean, yeah, it's a reserve tank, but it's better than... I mean, it's like, you know, having to choose between Spazer versus Plasma. If you don't have Plasma, don't just turn your nose up at Spazer. It's still something.
I mean, you know, some items, they have strong reactions for runners.
And Ddraig getting the wave gate glitch second try. That was pretty good. Wow, 45 missiles. There's really no short supply of missiles right now, and Scoopula seems to be picking up a lot of them.
There's a question in chat about whether the logic takes into account crystal flashes, and I'm not sure that it actually does. I've seen conflicting answers on that question, but I believe that the logic will always at least make sure that there's enough E-tanks and reserve tanks to meet the logic. So it's never not going to give you enough E-tanks and require a crystal flash. At least that's my understanding.
I think I will echo that. I think you're right on it. Yeah, someone pointing out in chat, there's a lot of minor locations being checked and picked up when we know there are 2 majors in Red Brinstar.
Yeah, random start can have interesting effects, you know, just based on, you know what items are where a little bit, but you're also kind of having a different early game than you're used to with just a, you know, vanilla ship start. So it could definitely change the way you kind of approach a seed.
This is true, yeah. I'm playing it extra safe, laying down that power bomb right when he gets in there. Doesn't have that reserve tank, but gets through just fine. Okay. Another super missile.
We're closing in on those 30 missiles you need for Ridley.
Yeah.
I mean, our runners have charge, but again, just like Mother Brain, a charged pea shooter is not what you want to take in to fight Ridley with.
Absolutely not. No, I mean, we've seen games be decided by those who decided to pick up minor ammo, the minor locations, that ammo, instead of just going straight to those major locations. Heck, the race you just played, one of the main reason why you ended up winning was because we ran out of ammo during a Mother Brain 1 fight.
And Ddraig heading back and getting the charge beam, the look of relief on Thraig's face, probably that he went back and decided to check that location, was palpable.
For nothing. It wasn't for waste. Okay, so Scoopula finding another reserve tank and picks that one up as well. I agree with that. If you're taking the time to find these items, pick them up. Especially since there are no E-tanks, we basically have 2 E-tanks in reserve now.
Yep, just got to fill them up first. And we're going to be heading to the ship, which will take care of that for us.
We're going to bomb Choozo. Okay.
The Varia tweaks are on, which means that we will see a bomb Choozo fight only if our runners decide to pick up the item. So regardless of what the item is, we'll see it if they pick it up.
Okay. And there goes it. Alright, so Mr. Ddraig going back to Red Brinstar. Gonna be checking these items down there. Possibly might just go up. I don't know.
I mean, you know, we know how many items are left in Upper Norfair, which aren't too many. Kraid is definitely an option, which would probably be the safer play. You're still no E-tanks for Phantoon, so I would guess, you know, head up, check the, you know, 3 miners up here, or the 3 checks, I should say, and then head back down to Kraid. That'd be my guess.
And Scoopula, man, Scoopula is risking it for the biscuit. We're skipping the ship. Going into Criteria PB location with only, I think that was 80 units of energy. You don't have to touch a lot of stuff in there to die quickly in it.
Yeah, that acid does damage per frame, so it stacks up really quick. So Speed Booster does mean that Wrecked Ship is technically in logic, but Mr. Ddraig finding Plasma Beam. That'll be a nice increase in firepower.
That is very nice. Combined with Charge Beam, that's very nice. So now, Charge Beam, Plasma, Speed, that's a comfy Wrecked Ship now. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice.
The only thing you need is energy, and Ddraig, getting caught in that beater, be careful.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the time to... Okay. Hopefully Ddraig takes a save in this room before... You've done too much to not save. Oh. Okay, we are gonna save.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you know, this is 3 checks, you know, all possible E-tanks, but that's a commitment to finding an E-tank here.
It's just not popping up.
So the side hopper room coming up empty for Ddraig. So that means that our last major is either... Ooh, Ddraig's gotta be real careful here.
Oh, he just saved. Okay. Oh, Scoopula saving the gauntlet check. And still no E-tanks.
I think I'm guessing Ddraig is going to check the moat item and then maybe refill at the ship, or, you know, vice versa.
Definitely.
I can't see a ton. Oh, nope. I guess going for a wrecked ship.
Oops.
I'm not sure Ddraig has enough energy to make this spark across moat.
Not anymore, no. There's an E-tank.
can reach the E-Tank just by jumping. Now, it's interesting. I don't actually know. It should continue the spark if he picks it up on the way,
It
right?
should. It should.
Falls a frame short, like 1 or 2 frames.
Oh man. Oh. Someone please clip that one. Just barely. Almost. Almost.
Just reach your hand out, Samus. Just take it. Just reach out and take it. There we go. Successful spark over the moat. And with that, our runners are almost synced up, separated by only a room. And with Charged Plasma, I mean, if Ddraig is confident in... If Ddraig is confident in their Phantoon fight, you know, Charged Plasma makes a significant difference. So we could see a Phantoon fight. 4 items in wrecked ship, that's not nothing.
Man. Definitely. No, we're gonna see Phantoon. This is completely worth it. I know there's one item left down in Brinstar, and that one's either gonna be, you know, at X-Ray or at Spazer, but this is worth it. This is worth taking the time. Now, this is it just a Varia tweak where they can go past Spiky Death Room of Death and check that spot before?
The item is there, but in vanilla map, the ship is turned off, so the save station and the door are both offline.
Okay. I remember that was only area rando.
So I mean, if they got, you know, gravity somewhere else and came through Forgotten Highway, they would be able to check that item, but not
That's
from the
right.
front.
That's right. Okay, that's how it worked.
So I mean, assuming that Ddraig doesn't make any of those checks in criteria that Scoopula did, you know, Drake's got a little bit of a map advantage, you know, progression advantage. But Scoopula's definitely got the energy and the arsenal advantage at the moment. At least until Scoopula finds that plasma beam.
I think Mr. Drake should have used either power bombs or super missiles to take out those things at the beginning, or at the in the glass tubes.
Yeah, farming up for a little bit of energy there. But that was a beautiful little spark ball.
It was.
I always get that speedball mixed up with the blue bomber in Wasteland. Alright, so Ddraig, I believe, can't get hit by anything else. I believe flames do 40 damage and Phantoon does 60. So as long as Phantoon doesn't appear right on top of Ddraig, he'll be in good position.
He's crouching though, so he shouldn't take any damage. Uh-oh. Now needs to be careful.
Doing a little bit of flame farming.
There you go. That's a nice bit. Okay.
The right side will probably see a right mid.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
charge,
it's a little early with that. Yep. Needs to do pseudo screws to avoid the flames here.
Nintendo Power Strats! Hey, you know what? You know something that would have made this fight a little more comfortable?
What's that?
A reserve tank.
Well, Ddraig now can sustain 1 hit.
Yep.
Scoopula, on the other hand, is very comfortable in the energy department.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that was a heartbreak. He needed 1 hit and just couldn't get off his beam.
Phantoon spawned in a very unfortunate location. So that does put Scoopula in the lead. And again, I was kidding, but Scoopula has 2 more reserve tanks. Scoopula, even though he's at 58 health, is still not any problem. And no issue whatsoever. And We have a down Phantoon.
But now we will find out what secrets the rest of the wrecked ship holds for us. Ddraig has a little bit more energy this time, so hopefully can make that spark and pick up the E-tank on the way.
Yeah. Really wasn't able to because of exactly what he just did right there. He did a charge and it went up instead of being able to go to the right. Really no need to do a CWJ in this one. We have speed.
Yeah, you can spend a lot of time in the water if you're not, super comfortable with CWJ.
And there's Varia.
So various suit. First suit found. Prediction payouts. Gravity
Yep.
believers in shambles.
That would include me, unfortunately. Wasn't. Ooh, and space jump.
Ddraig making it across moat and headed back to face down Phantoon again. So with Varia, spiky room of death, it's a little less scary, but with the energy that our runners are on, it's still pretty scary. Oh.
Mr. Ddraig just having a hard time at this point.
Yeah, I think
Died to Phantoon, was so close to beating Phantoon. Kind of looks more frustrated more than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, with the opening, with missing where the morph ball was, Ddraig can't be feeling great at this point.
No.
Even though he's not that far back. He took a second. He's had a sip of something to drink and collect himself, and hopefully we'll be seeing a renewed vigor here.
Yep. Shaking it off. Continue on.
That's right. Scoopula doing a little bit of save scumming. Didn't want that pack of power bombs. Wasn't worth the trip back. Yeah, that space jump really came at the opportune time, given that we're probably going to be seeing a Sky Missiles check here in just a second.
Yeah, that's right. So we got Attic, we got Sky Missile, we've got Wreck Ship Reserve, and then we've got Ocean Maze, or whatever the maze is called, and then we have two other checks: Gravity and the normally a missile after Gravity and Bowling.
Yeah, yep, that's all of them.
Okay, and we're getting a second Phantoon fight. Seems to be doing better on health. You have plasma. I would say doing a charged plasma shot is a safer route with what you've got going on.
Yeah, I would have to agree there. Dopplers are faster, but the charged plasma will keep you alive. You're not risking running into them. Ddraig wisely doing a little bit of flame farming. Very nice Doppler. And Scoopula finding high jump boots.
Is that in the attic?
Yes, it was. Gonna take a quick peek at reserve
Touched
item.
him! Oh no!
Oh, that is rough.
Mm-hmm.
Screw attack at Sky Missile. So the last major is found. We won't need to see bowling. Everyone's favorite opportunity to get up, take a stretch, get a drink of water. Not this time. Non-stop action.
Yep, I think that's exactly where he's going. He might be going back to get the, or at least check this last major item. Well, Scoopula is going to be heading back down after getting, arguably able to really move about now. I think Screw Attack is technically one of the movement items. I'm not sure, but yeah,
I mean, even if
he's
it's
gonna
not
be.
considered a movement item, it's very comfortable.
It is very comfortable. Yes, he's able to. I don't know, at least move through all the enemies and not have to worry about it at this point.
Yeah, exactly. It lore and warfare is made much easier with Screw Attack on your side.
And we find out our last major in Red Brain is in X-Ray.
So Ddraig not going to be able to check that quite yet. Looks like Ddraig is going to be headed over to Kraid next, is my guess. But we will probably see the X-ray check from Scoopula with Screw in Space.
Scoopula is also going to be getting plasma here soon.
Ddraig with a nice little jump over that gap. I usually have to turn the speed booster off and jump from below, but no time for that.
Yeah, actually, I didn't know there was a way to do it with speed booster still on. I'm gonna have to try and remember that.
Just a little itty bitty hop.
No majors in Kraid, by the way, but
Well,
finding a super.
That just means more chances for an E-Tank.
Also, I did notice Scoopula skipped a super missile pack. 35 super, 65 regular. That's fine. We have plasma in charge now, so yeah, let's skip them.
Ddraig doing a little bit of farming here. Keeps getting missiles. I think he was looking for energy.
Yeah,
Hopefully not
finding it.
necessary with a quick kill, but every now and then, Kraid likes to not be cooperative. I think... Oh, there we go. Scoopula remembering that he's got space jump.
X-ray ends up being Spazer. Doesn't need it. Okay.
More supers. Oh.
That's...
Mini Kraid does a surprising amount of damage if you can't kill it right away. I think it's 100 without suits.
No way. It does 100 damage?
Yep. Yeah, it does. If you make contact with the body, I've actually lost at least one run to a mini Kraid, trying to just shoot it coming out and missing.
It just feels bad for Ddraig at this point.
I mean, Ddraig does have good information, though. You know, he's been to Kraid. He knows that there's no majors there. He will have to, go back and kill the boss again, but it does put him at least on the right track that Wrecked Ship is likely the logical next step.
Mr. Threy getting the shine spark off the first time. That's great.
And we're into Crade for Scoopula.
Yeah, Jace, bro. I'm all for skipping the reserve tank, just not this early. If the reserve tank's the first thing that you find, I'm gonna pick it up. Scoopula just missing that last super, so we're getting the Crade DLC. And takes Crade down. Super. You know, with only one other major item, warfare, do you just immediately go down, check Crade? Not Crade, but Crocomire? You have Plasma and Charge, so Crocomire is literally a shot, maybe two, to knock him into the acid.
I would say I would probably do a couple of upper Norfair checks, if for no other reason than to find an energy tank.
Okay. We still need them. We still need at least 3 E-tanks to beat the game. Oh, we're on another Phantoon fight.
I will caveat that by saying I probably would check Croc first.
Yeah.
But I think it's still worth checking out the rest of Upper Norfair, at least 1 or 2, maybe something like Upper Norfair Reserve, so that you can kind of have that dense 3-item check.
Mr. 3, yeah.
Phantoon just not cooperating today. Like Ddraig is taking a little break. You know, the way the seed is played out has been incredibly frustrating, I can imagine. So
yep, from the very beginning.
Yep, taking a second. That's the other thing too about randomizer. You know, you never know what your opponent is doing. You know, you might be having a bad seed, but it's entirely possible that your opponent is having a worse seed. So, you know, take a second. Hopefully, Ddraig comes back and continues on with the play. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is just the first one of 3 rounds. And of course, it is best of 3, so this is only the first one. They haven't scheduled a second yet, so we'll see what happens in round 2.
Ddraig continuing on.
And he's doing exactly what you have to do. He's just laughing it off. Like, it happens. That's what it is. That's what it is. It just happens.
I respect that play. Meanwhile, Scoopula finding Wave Beam, the other Upper Norfair item here in Crumble Shaft.
Okay, so that means we have no way of getting through West Meridia right now. There's no way for us to check anything in there without Spring Ball. So we are ABC.
Yeah, I suppose Croc has to have it, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. Now, whether it's going to be Spring Ball or Gravity, we'll find out.
Now, the interesting question is, with hard difficulty, I believe High Jump Varia is in logic for Lava Dive. But I don't know if there's an energy tank requirement associated with Lower Norfair.
We only have 1 E-tank, though. I don't think we can do that with just 1 E-tank.
Well, I mean, it's logical E-tanks, right? So we've skipped a lot. We skipped bowling. We skipped a good chunk of upper wrecked ship. There's still, I think, a few checks in Brinstar and Criteria that are unchecked.
Yeah, you're right. And hey, here's another E-Tank. So that's, if anything, that would definitely put it in logic at this point, because we have that one E-Tank. Or we have two E-Tanks now. Two E-Tanks and two reserve tanks. Yeah. Yeah, we can do Lore and Warfare now.
2 E-Tanks 44 minutes into a seed. That doesn't feel good. no matter who you are, that doesn't feel good.
And Mr. Ddraig has full health during this Phantoon fight.
Little ghosties trying to troll him a little bit. Rolls right underneath.
No, Wreck Ship safe station is not open. Not until after Phantoon is dead.
So PB's after Croc. Nothing there. Still on the hunt for that major. Alright. You can do it, Ddraig.
Nice
dodge.
movement. Taking a hit still. Only take a few more hits as it is right now. Yep, we wanna see those charge shots. That's how we want to take out Phantoon.
The flame's just not cooperating with drops. Ddraig taking it slow and steady. So Spring Ball and Croc.
That means we are on our way to West Meridia.
Now, I thought that in hard difficulty, Suitless Meridia was not in logic.
There are some checks to make that you can. Oh, there's another E-Tank. This is hard difficulty, but I think, isn't Mama Turtle still in logic regardless of what's going on? And there's another death.
Yeah, that is just rough. Phantoon just not cooperating. You know, Ddraig's been within 1 or 2 missiles, but then Phantoon spawns right on top of him and he takes a couple hits and, you know, it's 60 energy a pop. That just, it adds up.
Nope. It looks like Mr. Ddraig has forfeited from the race. So, GG's.
Yeah, just an unfortunate set of circumstances. The low E fight, the Morphball at the beginning, you know, it's just tough. And you know, we're playing these tournaments for fun, and if you get into a seed like this and you're not having fun, like, you know, no blame at all here. I believe by tournament rules, Scoopula does still have to finish the seed.
Yeah. And we have Mr. Ddraig in the chat today. GG.
Yeah, so Scoopula opting not to attempt the dive without having saved first.
And that's a fair thing. Looks like what, we're gonna go to Bubble Mountain and save.
Yeah, that seems likely.
And we are joined by Mr. Ddraig. GG.
Oh, I don't know about GG. Maybe not
Well,
today.
well, you know, I hate to see it. You know, sorry that it happened. What's going through your mind right now?
You know, I honestly, I'm not as bothered as you might think. I like had no contact with gaming at all for the last week and a half, and it's been breaking me. And SM today was just not my friend, and I think it's a good time to just say, do you know what? We're just gonna have to win 2 on Saturday instead.
Exactly. That's the attitude to have. Exactly. Shake it up.
Yeah. No, I am slightly surprised to see only the one boss down on Scoopula. Has he not beaten Kraid yet?
I think he has beaten Kraid. I just don't think he got marked on there. Yeah, he beat Kraid.
Ah, that's fair enough. But no, yeah, it was a slow start in Seed, and yeah, today me slow starting Seeds, it's just not working out, and I'm not going to go to the point where I find myself getting angry just because. I'm happy to take this one and go hard for the 2 on Saturday. It was yeah, and like you could probably see that I was thrown off straight away at the start when I got to Blue Ring Star, and then realised that actually there must have been something open in Norfair, which I completely forgot that with the random start locations, there's different things opened at the start. So that was a bit awkward. So I lost some time instantly there, and then like Phantoon, based on what I had, was definitely the right read. It turns out, but I just don't know what was going on with me today. I ran into him at least twice when I basically had him beat. Yeah, just SM being SM, and me not having a good day of it today. But no, it's been good, and it's looking like I'm guessing Scoopula's setting himself up for a lava dive here. It's looking like he's not going to be finding gravity anytime soon.
Oh, we're kind of curious where that's going to end up being. But yeah, he went ahead and went in. Man, this E-Tank situation, though, he found the majority of his E-Tanks after Croc. So I think there was one in Croc, there was one that he just found at Norfair Reserve, and then one around Speed, I think is the other one. So this has just been not a healthy seed at all.
Yeah, I mean, when we got Speed as well right at the start, my first thought when I actually got that was head right, see if whatever the remaining item is in the lower spot, and then I went over there and realized I don't even have power bombs, so that's no good to me anyway. But I was my first thought was I got Speed. It was go for some hell runs, and I again didn't have any bombs to get me through there, so that wasn't going to happen regardless. But yeah, this seed is not friendly with the health. I will say up front, I do not regret not taking that reserve tank at what's it called? Waterway.
Yep.
I have no regrets on that one. Reserve tanks, and they can do one. I just no thanks. I appreciate why people like reserve tanks, but reserve tanks they mess with the drop percentages slightly, and that's or they can, I should say, not that they do. Depends on the circumstances, but that's enough for me to be like, nope, not interested in the reserve tank. Okay, I do have a question. Is Varia Tweaks on?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So the ability to save at the save station, I believe, only occurs either on a rando in full area.
Okay, and so I take it then that the item is only there. We only can access the item, the E-Tank item, if we go through Meridia and come from the east side of Wreckship, because I noticed that door was closed as well, which is like the save. I realized, wait, we don't have random bosses, but it was the door. I was sort of like, I thought this was open with various tweaks, but then I suppose that shows what I know. You know, admin of Randomizer League right here. Thanks, guys. I know nothing anymore.
Yep, it's that vanilla map that locks that door, unfortunately.
Right, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
But you are right that if you came back through Forgotten Highway, you would be able to check that item.
Okay. So I guess I should ask, where was Gravity? Not Gravity, Varia.
Varia was that the attic item, or was that?
No, it was right side supers.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm really annoyed with myself.
Yeah, space jump was left side supers. High jump boots was attic.
Yep.
And sky missiles was screw attack.
Well,
and just
right,
to say,
right side attic, I'm assuming.
Scoopula's burning through Upper North or Lower Norfair right now. Had a beautiful lava dive. Just wanted to make sure that gets noted.
He did, and also he went through and fought Golden Chorizo. So respect for that, because I'll be honest, you never would have seen that boss if this was me, or many people playing Rando. You would not have seen that boss in this situation. Like I think there's a lot of guys. I understand that the hunt for Gravity is on. But I think there's a lot of guys who would agree when I say that it's such a low percentage shot at Golden Chorizo that you maybe consider backdooring, checking it, and going on, but more than likely you just skip Golden Chorizo. I mean, maybe I'm just skewed because of my preference for major minor, but I definitely feel like that's going to be the case. And yes, just to say to Simo, yes, anti-reserve propaganda, because everybody needs propaganda to know that reserves suck. Thanks, dude.
For me, I would say if you're finding a C to be this unhealthy with no energy whatsoever, and you're given the opportunity to find a reserve tank, I would take it. I would say take it. And Scoopula actually found 2 reserve tanks. There was one at Waterway and there was one at 230 Missiles.
Oh yeah, I forgot I could have checked those places in Upper Criteria. Because I got power bombs. Oh yeah. Do you know what? I wasn't in as bad a position on this scene as I thought I was.
I mean, headed into Phantoon, I think you actually got to Phantoon first.
Yep.
Oh, that's wild to know.
Yeah, Scoopula did a lot of checks in Blue Brinstar and Green Brinstar that you skipped. You went back down Red Tower, he went up and around. I guess reverse beam route.
Yeah, see, as soon as, especially when I was in Green Brinstar, especially when I picked up that charge beam, my first thought when I got that was just go find a boss. And for some reason, I didn't use that charge plasma combo against Phantoon, which probably would have been a nice little safety for me. But anyway, my Phantoon problems are my Phantoon problems. But no, I mean, in fairness, I appreciate with the way, especially with how health was early in the seed, that it's very easy to get into a methodical mindset with your checks. So I can completely understand why he is going for these checks. I just, me personally, I mean, I think my 3-3 really sort of, if you watch my races, really emphasizes that I am very much I'm quite happy to play the high risk, high reward strategy and take the gamble on it. Whereas Scoopula is clearly playing a much more methodical game, and it is working out for him.
Absolutely, I've seen him do this before, where he just it seems to work. But he's checked. In fact, one of the things I wanted to ask him once I'm able to talk to him is, why the all the checks that he's doing at the beginning, because I mean, you saw Criteria had 0 majors, Brinstar had barely any, but even after Scoopula found all the majors, he just went through. He even backtracked to Pink Bryn to check everything.
Oh wow. I mean, I would have to assume at that point that he's looking for health, because we were so dry on health, and there's so much that does big damage to you in the areas that we had. You know, you had the option of going to Kraid, which is relatively safe by comparison, but going to Kraid without any E-tanks isn't something that a lot of people, if anyone, are really used to doing. You do see it in Randomizer, but I mean, if you're playing vanilla, you are almost never going to see that. You know, worst case scenario, people are going there with one. So I'm going to have to assume that he's looking for health. I can't see any logical reason why he wouldn't be checking those if he wasn't. I mean, maybe he's thinking ammo hunt early because, you know, it's good to have the ammo for Ridley and so on. But I'm going to have to assume health. Whereas while I was you know, as you could tell, slightly desperate for health. I mean, like one more E-tank, even that reserve tank, which I still don't regret not taking, probably would have saved me in those Phantoon fights and put me in a better position. But at the same time, I am sort of, like I said, I'm quite happy to go for the high-risk strategy myself, and I can't blame anyone for preferring to go looking for the E-tanks in that situation. Like, but I found the majors, and I was like, move on. It's like, we will find E-tanks. We will. It's going to happen. It would have been nice to find them earlier, but if you found them all after Croc, there's not really much we were doing in that situation. We had, so I take it he fought Phantoon with 1 E and 2 reserve. Then was it?
Right. Yep. 1 E-tank, 2 reserve. I don't think he had plasma at that time either, so he was just using regular missile strats. He hadn't gone through Red Brainstorm yet.
Okay, see, now, in some ways, I kind of wish I'd turned Plasma off for that fight. Mostly just due to having more familiarity with fighting Phantoon without Plasma. Like, it seems ridiculous, especially watching how badly my fights actually went, but I'm very used to, even though I don't run vanilla at all anymore, because I don't want to do that to myself. But I'm very used to going into Phantoon on the, you know, 1 or 2 E-tanks max, no beams, and just going for the missiles. And it's something that I did spend a lot of time in the past practicing when I did actually practice regularly with Super Metroid. But, you know, today just clearly it was not happening for me, so I can live with that.
It's just not. Well, you go ahead.
I was gonna say I hear exactly what you're saying, because playing Randomizer, you will fight Phantoon every now and then with X-Ray, and anytime I try and microwave Phantoon, it just doesn't work. Like, I keep trying, and it just takes forever, and I wind up losing time on it just because I'm not familiar with it. Right? You just don't do it that often, and so
yeah, the microwave Phantoon fight it's very weird in terms of timing compared to what you might be thinking it is as well. But skip the reserve, he's gonna lose now. That do you know what? That's a bold call bad at Metroid. I'm gonna wait and see how that works out for him.
So this last item over here on the left has got to be the major. We checked everything else.
Yeah, this is the major. So in its gravity,
there it is.
So gravity was at lower Norfair, and that puts Scoopula in go mode.
Do you know? I'm gonna call it now. I think he's gonna take the win here. I think he's just got it going on right now. No, that's in my opinion, that is a great spot to be finding gravity right now. Coming out of lower Norfair, knowing that you want gravity, you need to go. You don't really want to have to do in the position. Even though I forfeited, whether you're racing, whether you're on your own, you don't really want to have to do suitless Meridia here to find gravity. So literally finding it as one of the last items on your way out of lower Norfair is great, because it is now just a free run straight to the boss. Straight to, you know, I can't think of his name, the snake dude with the terrible hitbox. Botwoon, that's it. But yeah, it's straight to Botwoon, straight to Dragon, straight through to Mother Brain. I think that's like the ideal place to have found that item right now.
And I think the only thing left outstanding is Ice Beam somewhere in the Meridias.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want Ice Beam, like for that speed later on. But I suppose on the other hand, he does have the advantage right now of knowing that I've forfeited. He is safe
Mhm.
to take his time going through the. Oh man, what are the? My brain is not working right now. What are the things that block you in Mother Brain's room? The 4 things.
Oh,
The
the Zebs.
Zebites. The Zebs.
Zebites, that's it. Oh man, if it sounds like I've never played Super Metroid before, that is completely true. I've never played it before. I somehow got into the playoffs here. You know, I know nothing about this game. I just happened to luck my way all this far. Yeah. But no, yeah, you want ice for that Zebite skip, but at the same time, you know, he's in a position where I forfeited. He's comfortable to the point where if he wants to take his time to do it, he can, and he's got the charge beam set up anyway for Mother Brain itself, so there's no huge concerns or worries ammo-wise. So as nice as Ice would be to save himself a little bit of time, I don't think personally that he should be going out of his way to find it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he is.
Yeah, if it happens to drop in his lap, like, you know, maybe you check the item out after Dragon, or it may be the item immediately after Phantoon. You know, it's not uncommon to see something like that when you're looking for just that one last item. But yeah, he's in a comfortable position either way, and he's well set up to go through the Zebites without any real delays, even if he doesn't find it. I'm curious, do you know if Scoopula does speed skip at all?
I don't think so.
I hope he at least gives it one try. I mean, like, personally, if this was my setup going into Mother Brain, I would be giving it one attempt. If I got it, great. If I didn't, cool. Let's just get those missiles in and get through.
Yeah, Charge Wave Plasma is a pretty comfortable beam combo for Mother Brain. I mean, Super
Yeah.
Missile's still a little faster, but if you have to, you know, missile your way through the Zebs, that's not a huge deal.
Yeah, I mean, if obviously if it was area, you'd get a free refill going in to Norfair, so that's great. Yes, check the items that are literally on your path. That item is so close to check. It's worth checking on the off chance you get ice for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I would even go as far as to say you're better off if you're going to check one item here, check that one instead of the item after Dragon. I mean, personally, you might as well check both, unless you feel like you're going to be in a tight race. But if you're going to pick one and it's full rando, check that one on the way in and out. It's going to save you a lot of time in general. Well, a little bit of time in reality, but you get the meaning.
And we are
Ridiculous.
getting a Dragon fight now, and
Yep, pumping old Dragon full of missiles, charge beams for the swoops.
only 1 or 2 more charges. Oop, gets grabbed.
There's nothing more frustrating than Dragon grabbing you when you know it's like a couple of shots from dead at most.
Dragon is just not playing nicely this time.
Oh.
There we go.
Not a nice Dragon fight.
There we go. So, Ddraig, were these your settings or were these Scoopula's settings?
I believe these are Scoopula settings. I don't remember, to be honest. This is... I did sort of... so, in the Swiss rounds, excluding my match with Dirksu, where we did actually discuss what settings we'd like to race between ourselves, but, you know, myself and Dirksu, we go a way back in relation to Super Metroid Rando and just Super Metroid in general, and just, you know, we've got a lot of friends in the similar communities, so did sort of a slightly different vibe between myself and him compared to myself and a lot of my other opponents. But against my 5 other opponents, I basically just told them they could pick whatever they wanted. But then apparently for the playoffs, I have to pick something. So I don't remember. I think I picked basically exactly the same as what Scoopula did, except I picked major, minor, and he picked full rando, or full countdown, I should say. So so our race on Saturday, I believe, is pretty much just a straight up vanilla map with major, minor randomization, vanilla bosses, everything. So we are taking our race real old school style in the randomizer community.
Nice.
But and then I suppose the third race in that case is going to be effectively just a random selection of what item randomization we get. I like that check. Just a quick look. It takes barely a second. Unfortunately, it was a super, but again, very quick check. And if it turns out that was ice, great stuff going forward.
Oh yeah, would have sped that up a lot. Yeah, just looking at some of these races that are coming up, looks like we're starting to get them populated again. We have 3 tomorrow. Well, maybe 2. That's the one, Kupo versus Baja Blood. That's going to be hasn't been assigned a channel yet, so more to come on that. That's going to be starting at 3 p.m. Eastern, and those races are just going to be back-to-back right after each other. Then after that, we've got Sunmu Farmer versus Nobody Nada. That's going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, this is the second round of playoff games, right? This is the second round?
Yes, yeah, we were both in. I think everyone in up to the 3-3 bracket at least. I think it might only be the guys who were 1 and 5 are in the first round matchups. I don't actually know what the actual bottom of the table looked like. To be honest, I kind of ignored the table itself for most of this. I just tried to concentrate on the actual racing itself. But yeah, I believe it's only the guys who finished 1 and 5, I think, are in the first rounds to qualify them into it, so that we get into that final 32, as it were. And so then, yeah, this is the second round matchup. It's a pity, really, that the playoffs sort of fell, so that they sort of were due to start just before Christmas, because there just hasn't been enough races for everyone the last couple of weeks. I don't know if anybody else feels the same, but I've really enjoyed getting back into watching Super Metroid randomizer races, and the last 2 weeks just hasn't had enough of them. But but it's good now, because hopefully things will pick up now across the next month. January's, for most people, tends to be a quietish month, so hopefully we get a lot of races coming in thick and fast over the next week or two and start getting through rounds 2 and 3. That's going to be exciting to see where we go with these. Of course, the downside of the major downside that's going to slow you down with that ice, obviously we're seeing now, is going to be having to have to powerbomb the Metroids.
Yeah, it has to corral them together and then powerbomb them.
And there's always one that just will not follow you. Or it'll just fly straight past you and be like, laters, mates.
Did cleverly turn off screw attack so that he didn't, ping pong them around like I always do whenever I go into these rooms with screw attack on.
Yeah, that's I turn screw attack off out of habit, because I don't spend enough time practicing things like a down back Z skip. So whenever I'm going for the Z skip, I don't want my screw attack on. But yeah, that's something that's easy to forget in this area.
Unfortunately, Scoopula got that. What is that called when Metroid does? You go too far to the right, and it just starts going the opposite direction. You have to chase it down.
you know what? I don't know if there's an actual name for it, but it's probably just best known as the worst. it's so annoying because like,
Just the worst.
where it just hovers on the edge of your screen the
Yep.
entire time. It's so annoying to see. It's like, just come back and try to eat me, please. I like the color on those side hoppers.
There's
really
something
neat color
to
palette over there.
Yeah, there's something to mention. The amount of creativity that's being put into these color palettes and the sprites that people are using, they're amazing. I love them.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I like all of the sprites are fantastic, and like the number of them has just massively blown up in the last year or so. Maybe a little bit more, but there are some fantastic sprites. And also, I want to give a personal shout out to whoever made the Ddraig one, because I love it. I genuinely love it, and I might never play as Vanilla Samus again on Super Metroid. Sorry, purists. That's just how it is. But yeah, it's whoever did the suits, whoever does like all the guys who have put together the different ship designs as well. Shout out to whoever made the X-wing. I love you too. But there is a lot of really good stuff that's gone into that, and there's other stuff, like, because with the randomization of the colors, you can individually do your beams, enemies, weapons, and your suits. I don't know if your suits are individual to something else or not. I can't remember, but that gives you a lot of variance. Then you can completely randomize it. You can randomize it within a pool or like within a sort of like range of color. It's really cool.
You can customize your music.
You can customize your music. I don't think that's. I mean, I don't know for this tournament specifically, but I know for most tournaments, at the moment, it's probably not considered something you're allowed to do.
No, it's not. But you can do.
Yeah. But you know, at the end of the day, racing is not the only reason why randomizer exists. There's plenty of people who will play these randomizers and never race a race, and that's absolutely fine. Even though personally, racing is the reason I keep coming back to them. But yeah, like, there's so much you can do with the customization available on the Varia website. It's so worth checking out if you're interested and haven't played one before. I think it's just varia.run as well is all you need, and that will take you to the right website.
Yeah.
You can have a look through all the different options, and even the gameplay options. It's wild. Like actually, that's something I just remembered. Random escape is a possibility for this one.
Yes, it is, and we see a lot. Yep.
I specifically mean for this seed.
Escape?
That was an option. Like to randomize the option was what was picked. So we might have vanilla, we might have random escape. I don't know for certain. And yeah, there are. So all the answers there just for the music, why music changes bands. That is one of the. Those are the major reasons. There is also. I don't think it's so bad if you're using the MSU stuff, but there is also if you're replacing the vanilla sound files somehow, which I know guys have done in hacks, that can affect. I believe it's lag at certain points because of the way the sound files overlap and the way they queue up. But that's probably less of a concern with this. But yeah, there's lots of reasons, unfortunately. Oh, it does say Vanilla Escape there are, so we are looking at Vanilla Escape, unfortunately. But Random Escape is a lot of fun.
Random Escape when it comes to whole area, that's always really fun. Having them see the runners take a moment, they're like, okay, I'm here. How do I get back to the ship?
Oh yeah, no, that's yeah. In area randomizer, it can be wild, but it's still always good fun. Also, I just want to point out, Scoopula, super clean Mother Brain 2 there as well. I don't think they even went for stand-up. I mean, it's a very minimal time save you can get out of stand-up without the full beam.
Yeah.
Because you can get some time save out based on the position of the Metroid, so that it takes damage a little bit quicker off Mother Brain before it flies to its tragic death and leaves you smothered in its DNA.
Mother Brain is not being fun this time.
Oh, sticking the high neck, keeping the head in the roof was nasty there.
Okay. Okay, there we go. Man, that was a... I don't think I've seen... I mean, it still wasn't terrible because we got through it pretty quick, but I don't think I've ever seen Mother Brain act like that before.
That's definitely the most aggressive Mother Brain 3 I've seen on a non-first playthrough. First playthrough, I've seen people sort of like take a second or two to try and work out what they're supposed to do, and then you do sometimes get Mother Brain getting a bit aggressive. But that is definitely one of the most aggressive Mother Brains I've ever come across.
That was 3 meatballs in a row at the very end.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't even see that normally.
I mean, the only attack we didn't see there, I think, was ketchup, which I don't believe Mother Brain does at that point anyway. So,
No.
But yeah, that was a super aggressive Mother Brain 3, and also that sort of also highlights how important it can be to hit those consistently hit your shots on the head in Mother Brain 3, because just that little opening and then starts absolutely slamming down those attacks for whatever reason. Like, probably more aggressive than Mother Brain 2 was in this fight.
Mm-hmm.
I have to know if Scoopula will save the animals.
Looks like we might.
Yeah, I have zero qualms with Scoopula having beaten me in that case. A well-deserved victory, and keeping the canon alive. The Church of the One True Dread stands true. But
Oh, it looks like he's trying to do Alcatraz. Doesn't need to do it now. Okay, goes back. I'm gonna say you don't need that now.
you don't need it, but it's pretty swag. Let's be honest.
Okay, that is that. I think it was this game. I can't remember if it was this one or one before. Just to say, there's you being at first doesn't mean you win. You have to also get swag points. Swag points are a thing. So Scoopula finishes with a race time of 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 39 seconds.
Oh, GG Scoopula, that was that was a great run, to be honest. Like, obviously for what I saw of it since my forfeit, well run. I am curious to find out where Ice was. Yeah, as soon as...
I'm betting. Let's see. Man, what's the one main area? Main Street. That's what it is. Main area, Main Street. Duh, me. Main Street. He didn't check either of the items in Main Street. Nothing in West Meridian. So, I'm betting Main Street is where Ice was. I'm going to say that.
Makes sense, yeah.
I'm putting it at Plasma. That's my guess.
Plasma?
Oh. You know what? Somebody's got to do it. I'll say Springball.
And I'm so happy someone did. And we are joined by Scoopula. GG, Scoopula.
GG. Thanks, GG. Yeah, sorry to hear. I caught it late. I was like sweating already.
Oh, dude, no, GG. No problem. Like, there's no reason I couldn't have continued. It was just one of those days where, you get to a point where you know you're just gonna end up annoyed, and I wasn't up for getting in that sort of mood today, so I was like, I'm just gonna stop now.
No, I totally...
Scoopula, and I'm just gonna have to win 2 on Saturday instead.
Yep. Well, it'll be mysteries for me. I haven't done MM, and then the third one will be whatever. So, but Yeah, no, I totally get it. Especially in this game, you die. It's just, and you know, I took a few risks and I even backed out of one. Like I ate that Namie fireball going down in the lava dive with 3 tanks. I'm like, you know what? Not today. And you know what? I'm like, if it costs me, it costs me. But so I went and found a few more. And yeah, speaking of E-tanks, that's what we're going to talk about here.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a dry seed, that's for sure. Especially considering there was what, 1 major in Green Brinstar, none in Criteria, and still no E-tanks. What how'd you think about that? How'd you approach that?
Well, I think I mentioned this before. Phantoon for me is like I need at least a few tanks. So of course I'm figuring it's Green Bryn. I'll find a few, even though there's a big 0 on the counter. But yeah, if there was ever any wondering about miners, that's it. Because and you'll see, I didn't even try, extended cycles with Phantoon. I just says, you know what, just disappear, go away. I don't want to take a bunch of extra hits. So
That's probably what I should have done. I don't know exactly how many deaths I took to Phantoon, but it felt like I took about 20 today.
did you go straight in there then with like what, one reserve or something?
Just the 1 E-tank that was in Moat on the way there. I skipped out on the reserve at Waterway. I didn't check anything in Criteria. So I just went in there with just that, and it was I should have beaten him more than once during that. It just didn't happen because today was not a day that me and Super Metroid were being friends.
I get it.
Happens to everyone sometimes.
Croc with the spring ball. I think some of my past opponents have run into major loadouts like that down there. Just, hey, thanks, but I get to skip Mickey Mouse bombs at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that gravity location, it's where you want it before heading into Meridia, but definitely not a convenient location overall.
Yeah, that one I was pretty sure I heard throughout this that you have to have it for Meridia under the second down settings, at least, maybe even the top setting, but I'm like thinking, well, we're gonna find out.
Yep. That was the last spot it could have been too.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing that ice, we did see where ice was at. That was in Green Meridia. That is Main Street, isn't it?
Oh,
Crab Supers, I think.
Is that Crab Supers?
I think it is.
Green Meridia, yeah, that should be Crab Supers, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I made a few checks seeing if it would show up, but I didn't even read the credits. So I'll go back and check because, well, actually, I guess it's just that. I don't really. X-ray might have been nice there at the end. I was having a little trouble with Ddraig on and all that.
Yep. So pretty unhealthy seed at the beginning. Now Scoopula, I think we even talked about this, and I think it's assumed at this point. But going through all of those minor checks, were you just looking for those E-tanks?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I don't know. If I start something, I pretty much finish it, whatever I'm playing. So I'm like, well, there's got to be one, right? Just and on we go. And I think we got something out of Criteria. Oh, and that it was to the point where 10 seconds in, I mark the one at Krog Escape, and I'm like, I'll just mark it, whatever. I'm never gonna get. Ends up being the third after half the game's done. So yeah, I go pick that up, and then I remember I was like, well, do I go up? Do I go down? And I was like, well, first I want to go up, and I'm like, I thought better about it. I should just go down, take the lava dive. I can do it with 3+2, and immediately take a fireball. So yeah, I was if I wasn't already waffling on that one, I might have just continued. But
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we're gonna be wrapping this up soon. Any final thoughts? Any last remarks from anyone?
You know what? Obviously, thanks to you guys for commentating. I believe it was Bam who did the tracking, so thank you to them as well. Obviously, thank you to SpeedGaming and everyone who turned up to watch. Again, GG Scoopula. I'm just sorry to say, dude, that I'm going to have to take 2 wins on Saturday.
That's. I will sweat all week. Trust me, I'm sure I will. It'll be tough, but look forward to it.
Definitely come back on Saturday. We will be having a guaranteed 1 more race, hopefully 2 more races, and we'll see how those go. But again, thank you to everyone, and that's it from me.
Yeah.
Yep, and as he said, thank you also to the 3 of you for hooking up here fairly last minute. I think I was just ready to play here today. Well, like I said at the start, as much as I can be anyway. So thanks again, and yeah, we'll see you throughout the week and Saturday.
Good luck to you both in the next game or games of the series. And KG, you want to close us out?
Yeah, okay. Well, if you guys haven't yet, give all these runners a follow. Scoopula, Mr. Ddraig. That's how you pronounce it, right? Ddraig or Ddraig?
Ddraig. It's one of those words where obviously it's not in English, and depending on where in Wales you are, different people will pronounce it slightly differently. But both of those are absolutely fine.
Okay, well, give him a follow still. give Cranberry a follow, give Bam a follow. Metroid. Thank you again, Bam, for tracking this race. Thank you, Count, for joining on, dating. We've got a couple more races tomorrow. I don't have it pulled up in front of me anymore. I believe it started at 3 o'clock or 4 p.m. Eastern. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and see you next mission.